Hi, everyone. Welcome to this session today. I'm Brian Land. I'm a leader here at LucidWorks in the Solutions Engineering Group. And today we're going to talk about leveraging semantic search to get answers in the first position in the customer service sector. So we're going to have a short presentation, and we'll show a couple of demos and how that works. But first, I thought to maybe talk a little bit about myself. Had a little project during COVID. I did one of those custom Sprinter vans you may have seen on social sites, but I learned a lot. I love to, our family loves to camp, we surf, we mountain bike, and things like that. Mom lives in Santa Fe, so we travel there too. But what I learned, in this project was, a lot of studying on blogs and groups and YouTube, and it was a lot, right? You have to start with installation. Then you see those vertical spans to hang your wall on, plumbing, electrical, gas, even natural propane gas with an on-demand water heater and cook stovetop. Had to drill a lot of holes, 5 different holes in the van, which is really scary. There's one for the window. There's one for an electrical charging port and a fan, and also an air conditioner. It's hot here in Texas. I'm in Austin, Texas, and it's 100 degrees this week already. And so this is really key. But this is a great brand from a manufacturer. But what I found out, it took about 6 to 8 hours of just studying and problem solving on different groups and YouTube and Facebook and chats and everything. And, a lot of manufacturers' manuals just not there. They're not going to answer every single question. I do have a lot of electrical experience in my background, but I found out through those 6 to 8 hours of studying that the AC unit takes 110 volt, the remote takes 12 volt. You have to wire them separately. There's to the remote unit, there is a RJ11 wire, and it looks like a plain, remember those old POTS phones, plain old telephone service? That's 4 wires, RJ11. Yeah, well, that doesn't work. I found out. It's called reverse polarity. So the first 2 wires are flipped. And so once I figured all that out, and lots of different sites I was hitting, customer service has taken days to get back to me. But they kept just referring me back to different areas anyway. But it was a lot of challenges, and it was not the greatest experience. It's all working now, and I'm really happy with the van. But I know from what we've heard from talking to other customers, support are really overloaded, right? Millions of employees now working from home, even support teams. Support teams are remote. So if you have a specific question, you can't just walk over to a cubicle, here's a subject matter expert, ask them a quick question and get back out. It's really, what we've seen is that exposed a lot of weaknesses of the current tools and just created an explosion of online support requests, burdening support teams. And so that's what we're here today is, how can we help? How can AI, machine learning can help? Here's a quote from Gartner, and Gartner believes by 2025 customer service orgs are going to embed AI in their multi-channel engagement platform, and they're going to get more efficient by 25%. That's a huge number. And I can see that. I see what's available today on the technology landscape and how customer service organizations are working today and how machine learning can help. And we're going to go through some demos on that. So I wanted to pose a couple of questions. So what if your customers simply can ask a question and get the answer in the very first position, right? Not hunt through search results and pages and different blogs. And we think about, there are companies that do that today, right? We've been asking Siri for years a question, and we don't get a long list of results typically. I think I did early on the stage, but most likely now they're getting an answer in the first position. Google Home, Alexa, same thing. There's a lot of automation there. So how do they do it? Well, the key technology is called dense vector semantic search. And so we're going to show a couple of demos of that, within our product Fusion. And so let's just talk about what it is for a second for those folks that don't know. So it's is instead of a lexical search or an inverted index, if there's search engineers out there listening to this, we're not just collecting, all the words and documents and aggregating that. It's the dense vector. It's keeping terms in this example, right? The three-dimensional graphic here. Horse is closer to animal, and also closer to dog. There's locations: New York, Beijing, and Paris. I'm in Austin. I'm flying on an airplane next week, but other things. So you can ask questions, and so it's purpose built for those natural language questions and understanding and intent. Much like at Google, right? You answer as you're typing in the Google search box. It's dense vector, but it's also collecting signals. Who you are, what you've done in the past, where you're going. Like you turn on your car and you're about to go somewhere, Google pops up like, oh, you're probably going to work. There's a 12-minute delay, something like that. So you can ask questions. How much does it rain in Seattle, right? How many horses are in the U.S.? There's that context. There's intent, and it's just really great for this. In my example, how to hook up a Dometic AC unit to a remote for a Sprinter van, right? I've been asking those long types of questions. And Google was okay. I could find it by stitching together, 6 different blog sites. But it was fine. But companies can be a lot better than that, right? They own the domain. Companies, manufacturers, distributors, retailers, in any vector, right? Or any market, they can deploy this dense vector semantic search because they own the manuals, they own FAQs, glossary terms, experts, and provide a better experience. And that's the next piece is signals. So merging dense vector semantic search with signals, right? You understand your customers. I was a customer of that air conditioning unit. It knows what I bought. It knows what I searched on in the past, and also can bring in information from other systems like ERP, commerce systems, right? I should be able to answer my challenges a lot faster. What type of reverse polarity, what type of cable should work with this unit I bought? So that's what we're talking about today. So the product from LucidWorks is called Smart Answers. We're going to show a demo here in a minute. So it's an advanced deep learning semantic add-on for not just search boxes, but also chatbots. So it's not a chatbot. It can power chatbots. Chatbots are really great for the UI and rules and workflow and things like, what's the status of my order? And it can ping the commerce system, answer it. But it's not good usually for answering long natural language questions like, how do I hook up my Dometic AC remote to my Sprinter van? So it's going to be great for just provide contextual answers using natural language, and we're going to show how to use it both from a customer experience on one side as well as an agent experience. It can be used for both, and that's what this leads into this next slide. So this is think about your digital customer service agent in the middle, right? They're typically serving from multi-different channels, like web, email, chat, Q&A. They're serving, and they may not even know what's going on until a case gets created and they see it pop up in their CRM system. And so on the right, we have that customer experience, and customers are searching and browsing, they're buying, they're searching knowledge bases, maybe some recommendations as well. By the way, these are all capabilities of Fusion. They may hit on chatbots and Q&A and looking at community content. If they can't find their answer, they're going to create a case. And so those cases that do flow into the agent, the customer service rep, this is the agent experience on the left. They also have their own tools. They have their CRM and they have knowledge bases and possibly Q&A systems as well. So, there are other sessions from LucidWorks that cover this entire experience or other pieces. But today we're going to talk about, how semantic search can help the chatbot Q&A and search, as well as from a customer experience, as well as to the agent experience to increase their effectiveness. So let's go to the demo. So here is a demo of DataBack. So DataBack is a data recovery and backup software. Let me get my notes here. And we've ingested lots of different knowledge base articles, glossaries, FAQs. That's what Fusion's really good at, is indexing from multiple data sources and providing a unified experience. You can filter on the left with these facets, look at forums. But let's start asking some tougher questions that may break some search engines out there. So let's see. Let's start with a chatbot. I'm going to ask a question. This has integrated both search and the chatbot from DataBack. This is, by the way, Google's Dialogflow chatbot. It's not our chatbot, but we do power it in this example. So let's ask the question: what happens if the private analytics upload fails? So let's go
if the data upload fails, then the service will try to upload again after 60 minutes. Upload failures are reported in the dbt.log file.
All right, that's one natural way to answer that or ask that question. I'm going to do another way. I'm going to do this voice to text. So I'm going to turn on the microphone. The upload isn't working for the analytics server. Oh, the upload isn't working for the analytics server. All right, there's the answer.
If the data upload fails, then the service will try to upload again after 60 minutes. Upload failures are reported in the dbt.log file.
All right, so the difference between the first question and the second question, I use fail versus isn't working. It's understanding that context and that intent. So let's ask a third way. What should I do if uploading to the analytics server is unsuccessful?
If the data upload fails, then the service will try to upload again after 60 minutes. Upload failures are reported in the dbt.log file.
All right, so you see how the third way, it was much longer. What should I do if uploading to the analytics server is unsuccessful? Unsuccessful versus failure versus isn't working. 3 different ways to ask the same question, but we got the right answer. So that's semantic search. I'm gonna ask another question. This time I'm gonna use the search box. So what's a data cell group? And the data cell group is a group of data cell environments. And so we're actually pulling from a glossary. This is actually another data source. You see the glossary on the right. We have forums, data source. Looks like a knowledge base on the left. A few different data sources we're pulling from. But if we ask another question like who can read data in a data cell location? Here we go. Any administrator in your organization who has a DataBack Cloud account can see the dashboard and reports. So also notice that this is now pointing to an FAQ. So we're also ingesting from an FAQ data source and answering that natural language question. So let's go back to chat. I'm going to go kind of back and forth. What is a client computer group?
A logical grouping of client computers in which selected options can apply to all member clients.
All right, that's good. Why would I need to use a client computer group?
Once created, client computer groups can be used to perform the following tasks for all their members: create scheduled tasks, set user security, view job history, generate reports.
All right, great. So you see how that question is worded where it's around intent. Why? Why would I need to use a client computer group? So that's a difficult question that would break a lot of search engines, but because it's semantic based, it's able to hit that on the first try. Let's go ahead and ask another question here at the search box. I'm kind of going back and forth. I'm going to get on looking for an expert, right? Who can tell me more about client computer groups? There we go. Oh, it looks like there's even another data source, people. Aaliyah Ebbett will likely know. She specializes in network client computer groups and virtual machines. And if you've attended any of our other sessions, we also have about 25 machine learning jobs. This is not a job. This is we're showcasing dense vector semantic search. But one of those machine learning jobs is to find experts, subject matter experts, based on content creation and authors and things like that. So we're pulling in there. If you've seen some of our other demos, we have a lot of call outs on the side. Like if you're looking for a specific document or subject, here's some SMEs on the right-hand side. All right, so that's our demo on data back. I'm going to quickly pivot, and we just have a couple more minutes. But here's another demo on the internal side. So, by the way, this data back, this could be customer facing. I forgot to mention that. You can ask questions, try to solve your problem as quickly as possible. If I can't solve the problem, I'm going to create a case, and that's going to flow into probably a CRM system like Salesforce or Zendesk and things like that. And this is an example of a portal for customer service agents. And so we're aggregating lots of different data from Salesforce, Confluence, Jira, knowledge bases. There's some analytics and things like that. We do have plugins for Salesforce and others, but I just want to show it more in this holistic environment. So I'm have an agent add on. I'm trying to find problems as quick, I'm trying to solve my problems as quickly as possible. And so, of course, you can search, you can facet, there's some machine learning on most popular searches. My open Jira tickets, it's doing recommended knowledge bases based on my open ticket, but we're not here to talk about that. We're talking, that's recommender job. That's another one of our machine learning jobs out of the box. But if I ask a question, I have a demo here, so I can show smart answers, right? This one on the right here is that semantic inspector answer. The one on the left is standard search, lexical search using an inverted index. So if I were to ask a question, something like, how do I improve relevancy with query rewrites? On the left-hand side with standard search, I see getting started with Fusion Server is not really what I'm looking. Improved relevancy is here, so looks like a big boost for that. Use predictive merchandiser search rewrites. This is actually pretty close. And this is going to have some of what I'm looking for. But on the right-hand side, think about intent, how to. Query rewrite is a machine learning term, by the way. And so it's predictive merchandiser is our tool to power these query rewrites. But I'm looking like, how do I improve relevancy using machine learning and these query rewrites? And so the very first item that popped up, enabling and disabling query rewriting strategies, and see how relevancy is affected in these individual strategies. Looks like a really good one. I'm trying to just try to get understanding how machine learning is going to help as I'm, looking to improve relevancy on my site. And of course, predictive merchandiser, that's our tool. That's another really good one that was also in here on the left. There's even more for relevancy and query rights as well. So those are just a couple of quick demos. I know we're kind of up to our time. I'm going to stop sharing, and maybe we'll turn it over to the team here so we can ask, kind of do some Q&A here at the end. But it's a pleasure walking through the presentation and demo. So I'll just go ahead and turn it over. Thank you.